Pod, send request. Request has been sent. Here he is.
I'm in. Hello, you right?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, good. Good, thank you.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for coming on.
You are very welcome.
We've got a few people in already, so I thought we get started. No time like the present.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I've got a request to join still at the bottom. How do I get rid of this? There we go.
There we go. Perfect. So, dude, how's lockdown life treating you? You're here in the UK.
Oh, it's good fun, isn't it? I think, in fairness, we've been quite lucky today. We had a load of snow, so it's being able to enjoy snow where you're not normally going to work and it's not a hindrance, and I didn't really have to do anything apart from walk the dogs. So it was actually quite nice to kind of just enjoy the snow for what it is, rather than kind of worrying about how much it's going to ruin your day.
Whereabouts are you? Remind me whereabouts you are in the UK again.
So just north of Leeds, so kind of Ilkley kind of area.
Yeah.
So yeah, exceptionally cold.
You guys, the snow that you guys got, I down here just south of London got just a great deal of rain.
Really?
It's delightful, pretty much all day. It was pretty horrible. I was going to go for a run this morning, and yeah, that was quickly knocked on the head.
It puts you off, though, doesn't it? It's kind of like, it's snowing here today, and I found myself having no motivation. I didn't do anything that I needed to do today. I didn't end up doing any of the video editing I wanted to do, and it made me lack motivation slightly. I've literally sat on the sofa all day and watched some telly. So
sometimes you just need those days, though. Sometimes
you've got to go with it.
How's lockdown been with regards to sort of content creation for you guys?
So in fairness, so I've got, there we go. Oh, Joe's in the chat as well. There we go. Eat his Chinese. So in fairness, do you know what? It's been really good. It's something where normally I'm really busy coaching all the time, and Joe will be, those of you who don't know, by the way, I've got Joe Stevens, who sort of co-runs the channel, essentially. We teamed up early in the year. We'll get a little more into that. But yeah, we just find that during lockdown, like Joe normally works 6 days a week, and I normally coach, let's say, 5 or 6 days a week. So just to have that time to be able to actually put into the channel is something we don't normally get. So things like finding new apps for editing and spending time editing and being able to record content is just amazing. We don't normally get that time either to focus on the channel. And the reason essentially why we teamed up to set up the channel was to have a bit more kind of chats and things together. We used to work together, and we both moved apart to separate ends of the country. So having that time now to be able to chat and plan things, actually, it's really nice. It's almost lockdown almost helps in terms of our content creation.
So when we first, so there's a funny story of how we sort of came into contact, because I think I just started my channel. I think I had about 200 or 300 subscribers at the time, and you messaged me, and you had about 650 and you were like wanted to do a video or something. I remember saying to Jen, like, God, this guy, like, he's got like 600 subscribers. He wants to do a video with me. This is so cool. Which was quite, I don't know if you remember that. You probably don't, but
the way I remember this is we used to speak on Instagram, and basically every post I put up, you'd abuse the outfit I was wearing. That's how I remember this being. Look, you're wearing black shoes again.
You did make that easy, though, at the time. It was easy to rip. So thankfully things have got a little bit better. But sort of tell the guys watching how the channel went from how it was when I first met you to sort of what it is now.
Yeah, sure. So Joe Stevens, then, the guy who I've teamed up with, me and him first met playing at a Europro Tour qualifier. And we had a bit of a laugh then. I think if you'd have told us then we're doing what we're doing now, I wouldn't have believed you. But basically, we worked together for about 2 years, I think it was. And we just became really good friends. And at that point, I was running it as I think it was Joe Lovery Golf or something like that. And we basically just made the decision that why don't we do this together? And that was the first lockdown we had. So sort of March time last year. And it made a huge difference just having somebody else on the channel, some fresh ideas. I mean, it was a channel that, and you'll be able to say this as well, I wasn't producing much content after, I think I produced content for the first 6 months or so and then stopped. And I think to have somebody there meant that actually you find yourself working a bit harder for them,
Yeah.
and you really want to try and make stuff right for them, and you try a bit more with thumbnails, and you try a bit harder with your video stuff you're doing. I mean, and all the fresh ideas just made a huge difference. And I think then going into, Joe went to the Berkshire, so he was doing some stuff there. And, you watch the videos of him when he's sitting at the fairway and stuff. Like, it's amazing. The views and stuff are incredible.
Love that. That place is just one of my favourite places to play golf. He's eating his Chinese still, and he's still watching. Joe, the invite it's been too long coming.
Well, this is the thing. I've only been down once. Don't feel like this is, personal. But yeah, and Joe then brought Libby along to the team as well. So Libby helps so much with a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. So some Instagram posts, she does a lot in terms of YouTube. And, I know for a lot of people that perhaps don't have YouTube channels, they don't realize how much goes in behind the scenes in terms of researching trends and what are breaking out of trends and things to post and things not to post, and when a video's timed right. And she really helps with that side of it. She does so much on that side, and I think without her helping us do that, there's no way we'd have got the channel to anywhere near what it is now. But I mean, so me and Joe, we teamed up sort of, as I say, lockdown last year, and I think we were realistically, I think we were still at 650 700 subscribers. I don't think the channel had grown in so long. If we got
you had quite a few videos where you were getting sort of 40K, for a video at times for sort of sponsor reviews and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, the only problem is, like, with those clips now, like, the quality is just not very good. They're filmed on an iPhone in an echoey studio, so I think people watch it and they'll probably watch it because it's a catchy title, but actually the content, you wouldn't subscribe to it, and that's kind of the issue we always had. But certainly now we've teamed up with Joe, and we went from 650, and then it was in July. July was the time when it really kicked off. So I made a how to set up your golf bag video, and I know we were chatting about this the other day on the phone, and it's like 240,000 views.
Insane.
Yeah, and the scary thing is like our channel just grew so quickly. I think we were something like 140 subscribers a day on average.
Wow.
Yeah, so we hit 1,000, and then we hit 2,000 in 4 or 5 days, and then we hit 3,000 within 2 weeks after that. And it was like the reach went to 1 million or something crazy, like there was 1 million impressions, and that went from like 1,000 to 1 million, like in that amount. It was just bonkers. I mean, you wake up in the morning and you'd see this number just jump, and there'd be like 10 or 15 comments and loads of likes. I remember me and Joe would read each other daily, and we'd be like, "Oh my goodness, like what on earth is going on?"
Well, that's what's really cool about having the channel for the two of you doing it now, is you get to experience those things together. It obviously it means a lot as an individual to hit those goals, but it does obviously. I can imagine it's very special when you've got the two of you sharing in that common goal.
Very much so. I mean, one of the things and I always try and make this really clear. The fact that I set up the channel in the beginning doesn't mean it's my channel anymore. I've said to him completely, when you joined in, it's 50-50. Everything is 50-50. I don't want any more credit than what he gets, just because I made it originally in 2016. Without him doing what he's done and Libby doing what she's done, there's absolutely no way it would have got to where it is now. So I'm extremely grateful to them, because it proved that I couldn't do it on my own. So I think to have them doing that was really good.
So you are a PGA pro by trade. So you've spent a good amount of your years working in a golf shop and merchandise and stuff like that. Obviously we're a fashion channel here, and talk to me a little bit about some of your sort of how you've seen the golf fashion world change a little bit in the time that you've been working in shops, to now doing a lot of coaching, to now doing the side of things where you're looking at YouTube and doing that sort of stuff. Have you found that what you're wearing has changed a lot in that time? And just play on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, sure. So in fairness, I think that the golf industry probably, I feel like it's moved a lot faster since I've not been working in a sort of large retail store. So I went from a large retail store to a golf club, and the golf club, I mean, wasn't the busiest shop like most golf clubs. You know, you stock the generic brands, your Oscar Jacobsons, your Under Armours, but it's not busy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I've noticed the golf industry move so quickly in the last 12 months in terms of where fashion's going. I think it really has taken leaps and jumps. And I mean, it seems to be led by, I would say Nike is a huge influence on what's happening currently. I think the footwear they're producing is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact now they're just producing trainers in terms of golf shoes is amazing. Obviously, we've seen Adidas introduce the Hoodie. You know, that's a huge step for golf.
Yeah.
I do also feel they've got to be slightly careful with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the only way I normally say this is it's fine when it's a nice Adidas golf hoodie, but when they say hoodies are allowed, what stops somebody turning up in a Lonsdale hoodie?
Yeah, that's the for me, I've always said from the word go is what's cool about the hoodie is, and where the hoodie for me is okay is if the hoodie is a technical fabric that's been designed by a golf brand to be, or I say a golf brand loosely because obviously Adidas aren't a golf brand, they're a generic sports brand. But if they've been designed by a golf specific section of a business or a golf business, then that's fine for me. But if you're going to turn up, I just, for me, the hoodie, I have to draw the line when it's a cotton hoodie. You could just be nipping down to Sainsbury's in or whatever. That's for me where I kind of go a little bit. I'd rather not see it personally, but I'm all for like the way that Tyrrell Hatton wore it at Wentworth last year? Yeah, last year.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
Frost guard, the frost guard gilet on over the top, and just thought that looked really cool.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I think it was amazing for him to win wearing that. I think if he was just in the field, they would have gone, somebody's trying something. But for him to win, it really put it on the map. And I think golf has to look quite hard into how they want to pursue that. I mean, I'm completely for it. Like, I think that hoodie's great. I wanted one, but couldn't find one.
They were sold out.
Oh, gone.
Quick. Even, for me working in a shop that we stock Adidas and I have access to the e-com system, and so I can see how many like the shops actually have to order. There were just none. They just didn't have any.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, I remember looking online. The problem is obviously I don't have access anymore to a golf shop as such. So for me, it's very much a case of I'm just looking online, and if it's not online, I can't find it. So it's a really but it was one of those things. When I saw it, I was like, I really want it, and I still really want it. So if anyone's got one or knows a link to one, pop it in below. It'd be great.
So the next sort of thing that I wanted to touch on is with your channel, you are obviously very specific in what you guys look at with regards to the teaching side of things, and pretty much it's pretty much all things golf. But you've done a little bit of fashion stuff in there as well. You looked at a couple of G4 bits. Going forward, is that something that you want to do a little bit more of on the channel? Is showcase a little bit more apparel on there, but obviously sticking to the roots of what you guys do really, really well.
100%. I mean, I really enjoy looking at the golf fashion side. And as I say, I'm no golf fashion guy, but I think we learned that in the last video that me and you recorded that's yet to come out. So we're looking at like the best golf shoes. But, for me, very much, I do really like that side of it. I see, I'm always online looking at golf clothing. I think that Instagram now has become huge for golf clothing. And you're forever seeing it on your adverts where it says, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And there's 2 accounts as of last night I started following that I feel are amazing. And I've got them written down so that I didn't forget them. You've got Lion Loft, which was the artwork and stuff, which, I mean, I just absolutely love.
You saw that on the wall, right?
Yeah, it was on your wall.
On my wall. You seen that?
That's it, the Augusta one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
I need to get they do a pin sheets version as well of the 18 pin positions for the Masters final round. I need to get one of those.
The Masters Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And they do a Pebble Beach one as well that looks amazing. there was them, and then there was another one which I know I was chatting to you about earlier. If I can find it, Fine Golf Collective as well. So brands like Molbon, they've got the Joneses bags, which are really cool. Have you got one?
Got one there. Really, really cool. Really
ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. And then Birds of Condor on there as well. Obviously,
from them.
So what? Sorry,
I got it from Fine Golf Collective.
Did you?
Yeah, when the site first launched, and I sort of just got in touch and was like, "Dude, have you got one of these bags? I need one." And we got one sorted. It's a really, really nice bag.
That's great. And I mean, obviously, you did the live as well last night with Eagles, so a relatively new brand. So I tuned in for that. Amazing. That guy seriously knows his stuff about his clothing, and I think I texted you immediately after that, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
That was really eye-opening to what goes in, and certainly, I think the small brands at the moment are doing it for me. I think this whole lockdown thing, everyone's like, "Oh, let's support local," and I think small brands seem to have that personality to it that you look at a product and go, "Really like that." That's just that bit different.
It means something to the person selling it. Like you could tell. Listening to Robbie talk about the brand, how much you can just see in him speaking about it how much it means. Yeah. So and that's really cool. To support that for me is really, really cool.
Definitely. But yeah, I mean, I think we're saying about golf and golf fashion things, but I think, I just find I'm always looking on Instagram, and Instagram I think is a real key now for brands and really just push it. There's a little American scene, isn't there, basically, is going on at the moment, and that's really what I'm following. And I think once Instagram starts to get a little tag of you viewing that, it just kind of it hones in on it, and that's what it's done on mine at the moment. So I've got to stay off my account.
It can get financially quite dangerous, can't it?
Very dangerous.
But it kind of goes for me. It's like that how Instagram has had such a big impact on the fashion side of things. It's kind of, I guess, similar to what happened with you guys in the channel. So there's a lot of brands like Crux Golfer, another one. They started in July last year. So it's almost like that first lockdown that we had last year gave people a lot of time to sit back and go, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I reckon I could. I want to do something a little bit different. I reckon you could source some clothing and bring some." And a lot of brands, and obviously it runs parallel with sort of what happened with you guys as well.
I was going to say completely. I mean, me and Joe literally had a phone call in like the second week of lockdown and said, "Right, should we do this? Like, should we actually do this and smash it?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we both ordered our Yeti mics, which you can see there behind me.
I need a podcast mic.
Yeah, and just we both ordered one, and that was it. We were away, and we just invited some guests on, and it was really cool to have people coming on, chatting about their stories in the golf industry and what they've done. And I mean, you look back now, and the views aren't brilliant, but one of the things that we always kind of say is some of the stuff we're making is not to go viral. Like, that's not the point in it. So, like, we recently did a video with Alex Clapp. So he's a pro from the Southwest, not far from where I grew up, and his golfing knowledge and understanding the golf swing is incredible. He speaks and I'm there just in awe, just thinking, wow, like how it makes a technical link and it clicks, but you kind of think, oh, I never would have quite looked at that. And I think that's one of the great things about chatting to other coaches is you always get that. But seeing him analyze, like I won't give too much away because our next video coming out, I think, is the video with Alex on Tiger. And he breaks down Tiger Woods' swing. And I remember looking at it and going, oh yeah. Like it took me a few times watching the edit back to go, right, got it. Mm-hmm. I understand it now. I get how that works. And it was amazing to kind of speak to him. And I mean, we've already got our introduction to him live. I mean, he already teaches a guy from the European Tour.
Right.
And I think he's sort of similar to my age, like 25, 26, somewhere around there. Yeah. Genius.
That's very impressive. But
yeah,
I'm trying to think what I was going to say to you now was harping back. Yeah, so you were obviously talking about there. The content is not some of the content is not made to go viral. I think that's a massive thing for people with YouTube, and it's certainly the case for me. Is that I've always made the content that I want to make, and my audience will grow. Well, hopefully, it will grow steadily, and the videos that we do aren't my videos aren't meant to go viral. They're not. I like to think they're not clickbaited titles, and they're not that sort of stuff. And I always say to everyone with regards to, having an Instagram page, or this is going to sound really preachy, and it's not meant to be preachy in any way, shape, or form, but just do what you want to do. Like if you want to do it and it makes you happy doing it, then do it, because I think the passion that you have for something that makes you happy will always come across in the content that you deliver. If you're trying to pursue a video that's going to go viral, that you want to go viral, it's one of those things where it can just get you sort of bogged down in, like, why is it not happening? Why is this not happening? But if you make the content that you want to make and you enjoy making, then it's gonna be so much better for you as an individual, and people will respond to that, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also, I mean, I've had to unfollow a couple of people quite recently because it is just the same stuff day in, day out. And I can't deal with this repetition of this is going to do this and this does this and now this is going to fix it. And you're just there going, there's only so much of that I can take before it's just the same old bit. And me and Joe have always had this chat that, like, we'll only post something if we find it interesting. We'll only put a story up if it's interesting. And I mean, at the moment, it's probably not, we probably don't quite post enough on our Instagram. I think it's something we're going to try and do a little bit more this year, because we feel that the YouTube side, supported by a decent Instagram, probably is going to make a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Our Instagram isn't really that active. We don't post enough for probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, or once every 2 weeks, which just isn't enough. So I think that's something for, got Joe texting me now at the same time. I think there's something that certainly this year we're going to try and focus a little bit more on Instagram, and then we're hopefully just going to keep the YouTube stuff going, because it's got some decent momentum at the moment. I don't think we have to work too much on the YouTube side. We are working a lot on our quality this year, which I know I've had chats with you about as well, because your microphone and camera and light setup is very impressive.
I reckon I am the epitome of I'm like the 25 handicapper who turns up with his PXG irons and full head covers and everything.
And your tour bag.
Stuart golf trolley and the full tour bag experience. I'm that guy in content creator form, I reckon.
A minute, but what I'd say to you is you're 1 round away from shooting 62. So go with it. You rock that tour bag.
That's very kind of you. That's very, very kind. But yeah, I mean, my sort of, I've always had sort of a name on the bag as well. Eagle Apparel, yeah, name on the bag. I've never had my name on my tour bag.
He's got his own logo on it.
Actually, I do want to put my logo on a tour bag, but the problem is I just don't really play golf that much, so I feel like that would be wasted. But yeah, my one sort of golden rule that I always try and adhere to with Instagram is always trying to have a story live. So once one story runs out for its 24 hours, trying to get another one up and trying to almost keep that momentum of that, and always try and give people a reason to click. And obviously I wouldn't put one up if it's just like nonsense and it's nothing that I care about or any of the people following me would care about, but trying to keep that going. But yeah, I have times where it's 5 days before I'll post another picture, and I have times you can say when you can see on my page if you scroll through where I'm not playing any golf and not taking any pictures, because all it is YouTube thumbnails all the way through, because I'm trying to do the YouTube bits and try and get those stuff out and trying to then use Instagram to advertise it, but I'm not just getting those pictures done. So I need to improve on that a little bit for this year for sure. But talk to me a little bit about, in years gone by, any of your sort of favourite products that you've had, any of your favourite pairs of shoes, anything like that over the last couple of years, because I'm sure working in the golf industry, you've got you've had a lot of gear, I'd imagine.
So no, like this is the thing, right? So everyone thinks that you're going to have a lot of gear from working in the industry and stuff. I mean, I don't think, apart from this hat,
it's a nice hat,
and maybe a couple of other small things. I'm trying to think what they might be. I've never had anything given to me in the golf industry, so I've always had to buy stuff, which has meant I've always spent my money quite wisely when it comes to like golf and golf clothing. I've always been a little bit cautious with it. I think now that I'm working in it in terms of where I was before we wore like uniforms and stuff, they brought that in, so I got rid of a lot of my clothing. But now where I'm wearing all my own clothes again, I'm starting to take a little bit more focus. Certainly now, technically, it's my own business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to take a lot more focus in my own apparel and what I'm wearing, and being a bit more cautious about what I'm choosing, what I'm selecting. But I mean, a couple of things that I love. I've got a J Limbo top that I've had for years, and it's still going. And I really like J Limbo because of the initials JL. So same as my name, which means that I quite like that. The gimmick, but I like it. I had a couple of Boss jumpers that have now sold. eBay's been a really good friend to me in the last couple of lockdowns. I mean, I'm now at a point where I think I have sold a majority of my golf clothing and golf shoes. My icons, my FootJoy icons, both of those got sold. They've gone. So I actually have probably owned 3 pairs of golf shoes now, maybe 4 pairs of golf shoes.
It's about 35 behind me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, very limited. I mean, I've got 2 pairs of G4 shoes, I've got the NG4s and I've got the Disruptors. Disruptors.
What are your thoughts on the G4 shoes?
Love it. Really, really comfortable. The pimple design inside, you sort of read about it and think I'm not sure, but actually you wear them and it's like a massage for your feet. And I'm somebody that, I used to pick the golf balls up where I used to work by hand. So I was averaging in summer 18,000 steps a day. Wow. So my golf shoes were getting a pounding, like an absolute pounding. And I was wearing some Nike ones at that point, and I decided to put my MG4 Pluses on.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. No longer had sore feet. And I mean, just that change alone made it completely worth it. So
what colorway did you get? Remind me.
Just grey. Went nice and easy. I can work with black. I can work with grey trousers.
Yeah.
Any other trousers.
Yeah.
Those 2 safe colours. And then I got my Disruptors as well, which were super cool. They have been out once, which was for the Ian Woosnam Pro-Am, which was hosted at Ilkley Golf Club.
Yeah.
Rhett must be watching. Oh, Mike's here. Hi, Mike.
Yeah. That might have been a reason why I sort of wanted to elaborate a little bit.
I'll go into it. Right,
stop that. We'll talk G4 for a second.
And they've only been out once, and that's only because of the weather. But yeah, they were a cool shoe. But say they've only been out once, but I'm looking forward to wearing them. I think now that I'm no longer picking balls up, I could wear them a little bit more in the range and not worry that I'm going to trash them. Mm. I'm a little bit careful with stuff when it's new.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of colorways and stuff for this year upcoming, and certainly Disruptor range looks pretty cool. A couple of designs that are really, really smart. So
nice.
It should be a good year, I think, for G4, definitely.
I mean, they produce some cool stuff. I mean, I must have 6 or 8 hats that, I mean, I've decided to when I decided to do my coaching business as such, there's a couple of things that I get known as a coach. So before I worked, there was no bay or undercover. So basically you're on a grass range and you're hitting out. Now, essentially, if you didn't dress correctly, you would just look like another member giving another member a lesson or chatting to them. So I tried to make myself stand out a little bit. And obviously I'm not going to carry a tour bag and things around with my name on it. And I'm just carrying a rucksack. So I'm thinking, well, how do I make this look better? And I started wearing a lot of hats. So like I've got this hat and I've got about 8 sort of G4 hats that I wear pretty solidly. And I've also got the Galvin Green. Yeah, it must be 6 or 8.
8 G4 hats. That's not cheap.
Must be 6 or 8. And then I've got a Galvin Green long coat, which you've seen, which is the trench coat teaching one.
Yeah.
And I would wear that pretty much daily. And I mean, amazingly, I got known as the guy on the, I got literally known for wearing the coat. So where I was at Ilkley, the 15th tee is behind. So there's a road that's just behind the driving range. People would shout over going, "Oh, it must be cold today. Joe's got his coat on." I got known for wearing this coat. So what happened is every day I'd wear this coat just to make sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Lovely.
So that's kind of been it for me. I mean, I quite like this. So this is a new Nike one. Saw this online. Didn't like the picture of it online, but for some reason ordered it, which is really unlike me because I quite like the colour. And then I got it, and I don't know how well you're going to see it, but I really like the material. It's something they don't show on on the website that well. And then, yeah, and other bits. I mean, I just don't have that much golf stuff anymore. Unfortunately, a lot of it has been sold and gone. It's making way for new.
Well, yeah. Well, we need to get you and Joe with a clothing brand, I think, and get clothing, because obviously, you guys, hopefully when this, hopefully what's going on in the world at the moment clears away a little bit, and you guys are going to be doing a lot more filming of content and stuff together. You could be the slightly hipper, slightly cooler me and my golf. That's
Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing we've kind of discussed before. That this year we want to do a lot of filming together. Now I'm really lucky that I completely control my own diary, so I can go down and see him. As long as he'll have me, I can go down and see him and go and stay, and we can film as much as we want. So certainly, I think having something where we look smart together is quite good, because very often we'll rock up together. We won't really have planned outfits, and then we'll rock up and go, oh, we just look like two guys here. Like, it would be nice to create that unity with logos and things, but I've just been hesitant to do it at the moment. Just obviously with everything going on, you don't know what's happening. But certainly we'd love to start now going down the route. Like, now we're improving the quality and really starting to try and focus on it more. We're hoping that'll be like the next route we'll go down. But I mean, until this point, we've just been us.
Yeah.
Like, we've just been two guys that made a couple of golf videos on YouTube, and we did it because we enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
And then, okay, we need to probably take this a bit more seriously. We need to get microphones and need to work on lighting and those things.
Mm-hmm. What is it in sort of golf shoes that you prioritize? So when you're obviously looking at getting a new pair of shoes and that sort of thing, are there elements to the shoes? Obviously, I do a lot of shoe reviews, and I listen to a lot of people who have their view on what they want in a shoe. For some people, stability is paramount. Some people, comfort's paramount. Some people, traction. You've got a lot of things that go into a golf shoe. What is it for you that is something that you prioritize sort of over? And is it the look? Is it you just want it to look cool?
So, yeah, I mean, for me, a real big one is comfort and stability. So without going into too much detail, I haven't got the best feet in the world. I was born and told I wasn't going to walk, essentially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, you would never know now. Unless you x-rayed it, you'd never know. It's only 1 foot, and it's completely normal, right, luckily. So for me, stability is a huge thing, because it's my left foot. So it means that when I'm loading in the golf swing on the follow-through, the shoe's got to have my back slightly. It's got to be pretty sturdy. I find shoes that twist. So I had a pair of Nike, is it Roshes?
Yeah.
I had those, and I mean, don't get me wrong, great shoe. I couldn't play golf in them because my foot would just roll over all the time.
Right.
Which was a little bit annoying. I make it sound like I've got like a club foot or something. I haven't. But yeah, I just want the things now to look cool. I want them to look cool with a pair of trousers. And I think at the moment I'm going very safe in terms of colours, and I would like to maybe add a bit more colour back in there again at some point. But really liking the trainery style shoes, but equally, I really like my kind of classic style shoes as well. So I know we were chatting about FootJoy are bringing some out soon that are super smart.
Yes.
Yeah, those sorts of things. I have my eyes on that kind of shoe, because I think that you need a pair of those in your wardrobe.
That shoe, I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here and say that shoe is going to be up there for me with, when obviously, as most sort of golf YouTubers do, and I guess fashion YouTubers, and we talk about at the end of the year 2021 we'll be doing our video on the best golf shoes of 2021, and as I've just done for 2020, that FootJoy shoe that's coming starting next month, if that doesn't make it into that top 5, and if that doesn't make it into the 1 or 2 spot on that list, there are going to be some incredible shoes to have launched this year for the remainder of 20. I've seen a lot of 2021's offerings, and so that shoe is going to be absolutely insane. Coming in spikeless as well, which some people don't quite know about. You've got 3 different versions of the shoe, but
that's cool.
Really, really cool. February 5th, but it could. Pandemic looks like it might go. Pandemic look like it might push it back, depending on whether or not we can start to play golf in Feb. So
yeah,
we'll see, man. We'll see.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, that kind of shoe, just that traditional look for me, I think looks really cool. And yeah, I'm like the really trainery style, and I also really like the classic shoes. So I'm quite lucky that I like both sides. I know a lot of people were kind of against the trainers when they came in, and I think that certain brands do it really well. And the brands that do it really well, I just go on the website and I'm just there going, oh, look at that, look at that. And I mean, I could just order all of them. You could just sit there and go, yeah, great. I mean, that'd be me. If I win the lottery at some point, it would be straight on all the golf shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the shoe rack.
I think mine's about 12 shelves high. I think, but
I was going to say I'm gonna overtake you. That'll be my one aim.
I want to come and see the collection. That's for sure. What are you guys' plans for 2021 then? Obviously, as you've mentioned a little bit in the live that we've done so far, is you want to do a few more videos together. Are there, when you're setting out content and stuff like that, is it, do you know that you want to do short game videos, or do you know you want to do swing videos, or is there how do you sort of determine what when you do come together, what sort of content you'll be filming?
So we're kind of driven by trends slightly. So I wouldn't say that's our main kind of lead, but that's something that Libby does really well for us. She sent us some screenshots the other day of trends going around and things and content that you might want to look down if you want to help the channel grow a bit. Mm-hmm. And that kind of allows us to then create the content that we want to create. So we might find, I mean, it could be as simple as I'm reading a book and I read something that's really interesting in the book and think, actually, that could make a really good video. Like, I want to help people with this idea. Or, Bob Rotella, I was reading one of his potting books the other day, and
great book.
Actually, yeah, I mean, I've got most of his. I actually picked up an amazing deal, 99p on eBay for 6 books. I actually had to send the guy more money for postage because he put free postage, and I said, look, I'm not having you spend like £6 on postage for 99p you've got. So I covered his postage. But you'd be reading through there and I think that's a really good point. I'll just note it down, and then we've got a list normally of about 10 videos each that we want to do. But then if we know we're getting together, we'll plan some stuff to film together. So they might be maybe a little bit more review based. So obviously Joe's going to have a lot more access to product than what I do, but I'm hoping to try and create some connections so that I can get some products sent to me. In this case, I've got to send it back. That's fine, but I'd like to kind of be able to review some stuff. Certainly golf clubs, because you can see a flight scope there behind me, so I can start to offer sort of data on it as well, which I think is really important now when it comes to kind of modern testing videos, to be able to give that kind of before and after. And again, kind of going down tuition routes, we really enjoy doing our kind of coaching videos, and we enjoy doing that together as well, because you're able to bounce off each other.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to touch on the bouncing off each other a little bit, obviously it's tough because in the world of golf, obviously there are 101 and more ways of swinging a golf club, and coaches all have, well, not all have, but a lot of coaches have very sort of differing ideas from one another on the best way to do things and that sort of stuff. Do you and Joe ever come together on an idea and you're like, I think we're going to do it this way, and he goes, nah, buddy, I'd like to do it this way? Do you do that at all?
We're so lenient, but we give each other so much crap. Like, if we could leave it running, and we almost want to create like a spoof account so that we can actually put those bits in there. If you could see, like, there's videos, for example, we were sent a video in, or Joe sent it on Snapchat earlier. We used to just muck about basically all day when we used to work together, and there was me trying to fold up this trolley, and it was like I was mucking about, and I put one wheel on and it was like flat, and I'm pushing it around the shop and I'm trying to balance a bag on it. And there's just stuff like that goes on behind the scenes that we end up kind of going, right, now we actually have to do something serious here. Like, we have to make a video. Let's now, and then suddenly it's like, okay, let's do this. And we then bounce off each other and go, okay, this would work quite well. Not so sure about that idea, but we'll do this. And we really do, we work well together. But I think we work so well because we have such a laugh together. I think if we couldn't have that laugh, I mean, we lived together. There you go, Joe's seen it. Like, we used to live together. A lot of people don't know. So, I mean, when we live together, you kind of create that bond that a lot of people wouldn't have if they were just business partners.
Yeah.
And having that, there you go, still got the clips.
I'm sure, Joe, you can put up on an Instagram story at some point.
Oh, do not do that. Do not do that. But yeah, it's like, that's what I think what makes it so much fun for me and Joe when we're filming and when we're chatting about ideas is that we just know that we're going to have some of those laughs there. And I mean, something me and Joe, so I've not told my Wentworth story at all. And we spoke about basically doing a video for that. But essentially, I went down to Wentworth with a guy who I coached. He was playing in the Pro-Am. And we just have one of those days when you just push the button just slightly to see how far you can get, like how much can you get away with. That was me. So I'm in the clubhouse having lunch, and like they're giving out free prizes and stuff, and I managed to go and grab a load, and like people are asking me any questions as to why I'm grabbing it. Then I end up in a tent at the end, and like we're at the prize giving, and I've got Joe's massive into his cricket, so I've got Ben Stokes like stood next. I've got a picture with him, and I'm like showing it to Joe, and he's like, what? Like, it was just one of those really, really mad days that I really need to do a video on it. I've got a timeline saved as to what happened. And it was one of those, but like, we gave each other so much, I gave him so much stick for that. I went, I've just met this famous footballer, Ben Stokes. And he'd be like, he's a cricketer. And I'm like, oh, is he? So I just spent the whole time basically winding him up.
So if you were to get to a stage this year where a brand sort of wanted to approach you guys and say, here's some bits I want to deck you out in our products, what would you be sort of looking for from a brand? Do you want something that's a little bit more sort of modern? Do you want something that's a little bit more on the conservative side? What do you guys sort of like style wise?
I think, to be honest, I think we're not. I think it would just depend on the brand and what they do. I think we'd really want to try and get in behind the brand's ethos and what they're all about, and try and understand the brand a bit more. And I think by doing that, you can then represent them in a better way. Mm-hmm. In terms of style that they're doing, I think not a lot of golf brands look the same these days, because they don't by any means. But I think it just depends on the brand as to which bits you like within the brand.
Yeah.
And I think fit-wise, I mean, the problem is, I think me and Joe are quite different body shapes.
I mean, I see him squatting and pressing and deadlifting, and
I can't say too much because his girlfriend's just joined, so I can't slate his figure. But yeah, I mean, so it's one of those things. I think realistically, I'm not a Glenn Muir guy. Mm-hmm. I don't think Glenn Muir are going to have a go at me for saying that, and I'm probably not going to.
I don't think they're watching either. So
there you go. Steve has an extra large. I've got an extra large head, so we're sort of matched in there. But realistically, I mean, as long as the product looks good, I think we're both going to be like, yeah, great. I think we're both really keen at some point to start going down that route. I think it's the kind of next step, and we want to tidy it all up. But equally, we, as I said earlier, want to get behind a brand, and we probably would rather go smaller rather than potentially larger. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it was when Adidas were doing it. They were doing the stuff with TaylorMade, and you saw guys like Me and My Golf filming with Rory. Yeah. And we're thinking, that's not going to happen to us yet. We almost want to try and carve our own way, and for us to carve our own way is going to have to. We probably want to work with a smaller brand and work up together and help promote each other. And I think actually a brand that's growing might help us more, because it's going to keep us kind of on our toes. And equally, like the guy was saying last night from Eagle, that he did almost brand and product development on the go with his players. Mm. Like when he was chatting about the sleeves, I found that fascinating. When you were saying, it's a bit baggy here, he's like, well, the reason is this. I was like, that makes sense. But I would like to kind of have that interaction with the brand. I think that would help us stay a bit more kind of focused in helping them, rather than if I think of a big brand gave you a load of product. Mm-hmm. Oh, great, thanks. But I can't offer them anything. Mm-hmm. 4,000 subscribers to Adidas is like, well,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Working with a, to work with a brand and grow as you do, as they do. I think that'd be for you guys. I think that'd be really, really cool. For
I would say that they have to be the Golf Fashion Guy approved.
Well, there will be discussions. So I want to leave you on one thing. I know we spoke a little bit a second ago about sort of products that you've had in the past, that sort of thing. If you were going to go and play at, what's your favourite course? Well, of course, you maybe not played before. somewhere nice.
I'd love to play Augusta. I think that's most
Okay.
golfer's dream, right?
So if you get the call from, is it Fred Ridley? Is he the chairman nowadays? I don't know.
I mean, that's...
He calls you and says, look, below par, you've had a fantastic year, and we'd like you to come and have a game and do a little bit of a video. What's that one item of clothing that you're like, if you haven't got the deal, if you haven't got a brand, supplying you with some gear, what's that one item of clothing that you're like, I've got to wear that on that day?
That's a really good question.
We all have it, don't we? We all have that. For a lot of people, there might be some people watching now who, you might play golf once a month, once every couple of months, and then you get your mate goes on, dude, I've got a corporate day at such and such, really, really nice place. Do you want to come? And then if you're like into your clothes and stuff, you'd be like, I've got to wear something nice that day. I've got.
Well, it was like tonight. Tonight, I panicked about what to wear. I realised when it got to half past, and I stood there looking at my golf clothes and thought, I need to make sure that I don't get given a hard time as the opening line for what I'm wearing. So I thought, right, I need to wear something.
I'm just in a navy t-shirt, man. I figured that it cuts me off about here, so
I wasn't taking any risks. So, I mean, definitely for me, I would take my G4 shoes because I know they're going to be comfortable. And the disruptors, I mean, at Augusta, they've got to be rocked. 100% they'd be out. I think also, I mean, either a PXG or G4 hat would be one or the other. There is actually a hat from G4 that I've not worn yet because it's got a...
I should have asked you when you said about G4 hats. So, have you got any of the hats with a Rascal writing on the front?
What do you mean by Rascal writing?
As in, can't break 80 or... those types. Have you got any of those? Because I golf is my rehab and stuff like that.
Do you know what? I haven't. It's the ones I haven't got. The only reason why I haven't got it or didn't buy them was purely because of the fact that I'm wearing them coaching.
Right.
So I don't play enough to wear a hat.
So a hat with could have shot 72 doesn't really come across well if you're teaching the guy in front.
No, or like golf hates me. Like I'm going to be stood there and the person coaching is going to be like, well, I have got anti-bad golf shield. And a lot of my lessons like that. That's pretty cool. That makes sense.
Really
and I've got a white one that I haven't worn yet. And I think it's like, I can't remember what it says, but I can't bring myself to wear it at the minute. I might even have to go and have a look at it. I'll tell you what, I'll bring it in 2 seconds.
He's off. Yeah, I really like the caps, man. The caps are great. They're great fun. I feel like I've got a stall. I feel like I'm. He's back.
I'm back. So I've got this one, which is foreplay.
Nice.
Which I mean, it's a cool hat, and I'm gonna wear it, but I can't wear it when I'm coaching.
No.
Because people are gonna then if they don't know this is G4, they're gonna wonder what's going on. So that's a very special occasion hat.
Very nice, very nice. Well, mate, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
You giving up your evening to come and have a chat with me. I hope everyone watching and listening in has found it fun. It's always fun for us to have a chat. If you've only got to go and watch my video of the BMW Championship shopping in the Boss 10.
Oh goodness!
Where you were the first ever person to appear on my channel as a guest. So
and the Callaway logo Boss shirt. What was that all about?
It's worth if after people you want to go and have a laugh. That video was quite a fun one to film.
That was good fun.
But no, man, I appreciate you giving up your evening and dude, I'm sure we will speak a lot in the future, and we've got to get a game. We'll vlog the game, and it'd be a good time.
Definitely, I think 100%. And then we also did the rate our. Did we do the rate our outfits videos? Did we do those, or did we never get around to filming that?
I don't think we filmed that.
We need to film that. We definitely need to film that. That'd be good. And I'm thinking that when we all meet up, I'm thinking we're going to wear something hilarious, or we wear stuff from a new brand. Depending on how things go, who knows?
Personally, I want it to be the latter. So
yeah,
dude. Everyone watching, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. It does mean a great deal to me. Next week, if you haven't seen already, Monday, I've got Stephen Morbon coming on for a chat, which is going to be insane. That is going to be a very, very interesting conversation. And Wednesday as well, we've got Fine Golf Collective coming on Wednesday to discuss the website and all that sort of stuff. So that's going to be really cool. So next week, and then hopefully I'll have someone for the back end of next week. But hoping to make these lives a regular thing. So
you need to mention that I've mentioned them.
I'm
not expecting it in return. I'm not expecting them to mention me.
I'll mention it. They did log in at one stage, so they might still be watching.
But, maybe.
Thank you very much, my friend. I'll let you get out of here and talk soon.
No worries. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers, bud. Take care, man.
See you later.